I just believe in the process, and we're going to win going through the process.
Now, Bills Mafia, it's time for the main event. So sit back and enjoy the show.
In typical Halloween fashion, it was spooky and terrifying. This is the Red, White and Buffalo Blues, a UK Bills podcast, Bills News with a UK twist, and we're talking Dolphins and Halloween. And Alex, how you doing?
Good, I'm great. How did you dress up? What was your costume?
I dressed up as a Royal Mail postman.
That reminds me of the time that I used all my hockey equipment to just dress up as a hockey player for Halloween. It's, the easy way out, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, well, I don't know if I used to have a mask. I used to have was it? Oh, who was the one that had the mask?
Jason, Freddie.
I think it was Jason. I
Michael
think
Myers.
something similar to that. When I was younger, I had actually dressed up like that.
Yeah.
For Halloween, but
Did you get a lot of kids? I didn't get a lot. There wasn't a lot. And I'm kind of in like a little cul-de-sac, a lot of families, but I'm on the corner. So I think everybody just kind of stayed inside the cul-de-sac. Nobody came to the corner. I have
we had a
tons
fair
of them
few.
that
We had a fair few. I think
Yeah.
at one time there was about 16 kids on my doorstep.
Geez, the most I ever had was 4.
There's 16 kids. There was about a group of 10 handing out the sweets, looking like a very dodgy guy. Then all of a sudden, another 3 kids come and another couple come. And I'm there thinking, I'm gonna run out of sweets at this one of these rates.
What do you hand out?
Just a one of those not those celebration tubs. Those like dib dabs and lollies, that sort of stuff.
Completely different in America. What we do is we have fun sizes of our chocolate bars, and that's what we predominantly hand out. So I had mini Snickers, mini Butterfingers, what we would call Milky Way.
Milk, you'd call Mars Milky Way?
Yes. So your Mars bar, caramel nougat chocolate, we have Milky Way, which your Milky Way is our Three Musketeers bar, just nougat and chocolate, right?
Oh, lordy.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's
you wouldn't think
too much.
Two countries that speak the same language are that different when it comes to their chocolate, but it is. So
Exactly. So enough of the sweet talk. Let's talk the scary and
the
terrifying bit, sweet. and the game. And my God, it was a typical Halloween.
Yeah, you
was pretty much hiding behind the pillow like that most of the time.
On Twitter, you are much more critical and negative than you are in our shows. On our preview shows, you're very positive. Everything's going to work out. Everything's fine. Then the second something goes wrong, you're like, everything's the worst. Allen's off. This offense is embarrassing.
Yeah.
He threw for 69% completion.
I didn't say no. If you go back on those tweets, I never said Allen was bad.
You're right.
I said
right.
It was.
Yes.
I said it was actually the play calling. You need to free Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Free Josh Allen's arm.
Yeah.
And that's where we started actually getting points. It was mainly the play calling.
Were you worried at any point?
Well, in the first half when it was actually 3-3, and the amount of times that Miami were driving on this defense, yes, we managed to hold them towards the hold 23 points at half, but there were times where I was thinking, my God, we're making, and someone actually had a go at me for it, we're making Tua look like Brady.
Oh, well, that's, I mean,
the fact that he was dissecting.
Tua was 53%. So
yeah, the fact that he was actually doing precision and actually marching downfield when the last time we played him, we managed to knock him out on the first.
Right. So Tua threw for 205 at 53.8%. In our previous game, he
got knocked out. So you may have to go to the one before
169 that. But Jacoby Brissett was 169 for 60%. So it was about the same Miami offense. We let them, they're trying to win the game too. So they marched, but they had to punt often. They had to attempt field goals, and that's what you want to do. If your opponent is attempting field goals, then that's good. But I want to ask, like, at any time, like being a West Ham fan, you guys are doing all right. Consider West Ham versus Norwich, right? That's kind of what this was for you. Were you worried at all?
Can we not just say West Ham, Aston Villa? I know there's probably an Aston Villa fan list to show,
Yeah.
and I'm just going to say 4-1. And Villa should have been down to 9 men, but enough of that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Speaking about officiating.
Yeah.
Seems like every week it's something with them,
Yeah. That's the one thing that really pissed me off.
Yeah. Just the inconsistency of it.
The fact that there were calls like last week or the week before, against the Titans, where we should have called back on them. They were called this week where I think there was like what looked like an unusual zone infraction that Josh Allen pointed out and actually threw it away. If that's not that, then what's the point in having that as a rule?
Yeah. No, because I know Jerry Hughes got called on something very similar. Well, on that one, the ball was snapped right when he got into the neutral zone, whereas this one, we snapped the ball because of that jump by the defensive player. And I think because of that, it looked like he maybe could have taken a step back. Maybe that's what the ref saw. It's just frustrating to see stuff like that happen. And my biggest takeaway from that play was that what happened on the O-line there. I mean, you let the guy come straight up the gut. Allen was pretty much banking on that, so he didn't try to make a pass. I would have liked to see him try to make a pass, but instead he did a hit and an intentional grounding, just adding on to what an ugly first half that game was.
What was it? Was it a right guard or left guard that came up?
He came over right over the center, between the center and the right guard. So yeah, I mean, we might be jumping around a lot here because we're just kind of going with it, but like, yeah, the O-line was just not.
Yeah.
I'm not confident in them against a good defense. And we'll probably see that against the Saints and the Bucks, teams that have good pass rushes, teams that are good against the run. I'm all for Spencer Brown. I can't wait for him to get back. Cody Ford only saw 4 snaps. I mean, he's toast. He might get traded. I don't know. We need the depth. So I don't think he's going to get traded. But
I mean, you're looking at, trade deadlines, when this goes out, it's on a Monday. The trade deadline's tomorrow. I mean, you could potentially see them going for a guard, trade for a guard, maybe.
It's up the middle there. That's the trouble.
The Rams just traded for Von Miller.
Yeah.
2 second rounders or 2 second.
I would love to be a scout for the Rams. You just get to do nothing all year. It's fantastic.
I mean, if we had that, if that was all it took, we should have actually made a play for him, make this defense greater.
Where's he going to play? He's not going to play. He doesn't have a spot. He wouldn't have a spot. We're not going to go 3 linebackers, But I mean, going back, staying on the offense. Daboll's game plan was run, and I gotta say, I don't like the split between Singletary and Moss. I am team Singletary. He's running at 5.1 per attempt. Moss is at 3.7. You can see Singletary has more vision. Moss is always running into the line. Maybe that's the line, but I mean, they can't show up for Singletary and then not show up for Moss, right? So stick to Singletary. Run him. He's clearly the better back right now. And stay away from the screen game. We're not good at it. Don't call it. This was a game where we had a game plan. All right, this is what Miami does. And then we game planned for it, but we couldn't execute because it was too far away from what we do well.
Yeah.
They blitzed. We tried to go short stuff. It just stopped working. Allen's longest pass of the day was for 20 yards to Beasley. And thank God for Beasley, right?
Do you put that down to Miami actually playing a good defense and having a good defense, even though I think their rankings are in the bottom half.
Bad, yeah.
Or so, or do you put that down to the execution and the gameplay of Daboll? I mean, every time I saw the run and we were getting stuffed, and then trying to throw the deep ball when we had like third and long or third medium, and trying to figure out why we're punting again when we should have just gone back to our regular game plan of just letting Allen fire out and then bring in the run game to actually balance it. I think the identified the team itself. We're a pass first team, but by sprinkling in the runs which we've done this season, has got us to be that team. I mean, what were we? We were averaging like 400 yards per game
in total offense.
I think on offense.
Yeah, in total offense. Let me see.
And I think at one point we were like 300 yards below that average. And that was in the first half when we were trying to sprinkle.
Yeah, we weren't putting up anything. Run. Yeah. Right now, our yards per game is at 409, and that would have been high. That's higher. That would have been higher going into this game. So, I mean, look at it. Singletary, 7 carries for 28 yards. That's 4.0 average. Moss had 8 for 19. I don't like that split. You know, if you're going to use Moss more in the pass game, 6 for 39, which was nice, you know, let him be the receiving back. Stick to Singletary. If we're going to do 10 to 15 carries, you know, have him have 12. All right, highlight package started there. So, I mean, the reason why we're like top 10 in rushing is because of Allen's scrambles. He went 8 for 55. So just a little bit more of an idea of what you have would be great. And it's in Singletary. So,
yeah, I think we just got to get that done. And I mean, it didn't help. I mean, it didn't help that we had to shove Williams out to right guard because Spencer Brown was out. Because it seemed like with Williams as the guard and Brown on the outside, that the run game started to pick up just a little bit more. And since when Brown went out, I don't think we really saw that run game really pick up, because we know that in the last few games, like we've had like close to 100-yard rushes for both Singletary and Moss
as a team, not individually.
Oh yeah. I mean, individually.
As a team, we're averaging somewhere around 104 a game. Let me see again. Rushing yards per game. Right now, we're 126. So, I mean, honestly, like 60 of that almost every week feels like it's Allen. But, going back to each game, Singletary's just always looked better, I feel. I mean, if somebody wants to argue that, look at the stats in terms of the yards per carry. So that's what I'm leaning on. So
was it 55 yards, 15 yards, 39 yards? The last 3 games when Spencer Brown was in right tackle and Williams was at right guard for Zach Moss. And what was Devin Singletary in the since the Kansas game? Rushing 25, 27, 28. That's his rush.
Because they're just not using him enough. I really feel like if you give him 6, 7, 8 more carries a game, he can get close to 70, 80 yards. And that's kind of what you would want from your running game. Get Moss out of the backfield on running downs. That's where I'm at. I'm going to die on that hill until Moss shows me some better vision, and or this O-line can, maybe step up. But, you said, we obviously all know what we do best, and that's the passing game. And let me ask you a question. Would you rather have it go to Diggs 12 times a game or spread out like we did this week? Because a lot of times it's Sanders having his game. Sometimes it's been a Diggs game. Today it was a Beasley game. Sanders had 0 catches. Would you rather have it mixed up like that or have it be the Diggs show like it was last year?
I mean, Spread it out by all means.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy with that because that's the way you get this offense working because you're going to keep the defense guessing on who you're going to throw to if you spread them out. Yes, give Diggs the lion's share of the targets because you know what he can actually do, but spread it out, spread it between receivers because that way, as I say, this defense won't know what to cover. So if you spread it out and you've got Diggs, Beasley, and Sanders on the thing, and you haven't just been throwing it directly to Sanders or directly to Diggs or Beasley, one of those most times, and they've all say got like 5 catches each. You're putting your defense under
You're spreading
duress
them
there
out.
because they won't know which one to do. I'd rather them actually split it out between the wide receivers and even tight ends, then actually just focus on one. Because you focus on one, they take that away, and then you just have to rely on them actually then trying to pick someone else to focus.
Was this poor performance because we didn't have Dawson Knox? Has he now become that important to our offense?
I'd like to say yes. I'd like to say no. I'd like to say yes because he's given that safety blanket on there, but at the same time, you put that on the offensive line. The offensive lines was actually taking too much of a beating on there that Allen had to try and get rid of it as quickly as possible when he actually when he threw it. So maybe if Knox was in, he would have been that safety blanket that he would be able to get those yards and make that play happening. But on the other side, it's the fact that he doesn't have that much. He's always under pressure.
Yeah. Well, but we know he's good under pressure. You know, I'm looking at all of Allen's games here. His worst game of the year was Miami week 2, 17 of 33, 179, 51% completion. And that was with Knox. But again, that's a 35-0 win. We didn't really need Allen to go, balls out in that game. So maybe it's just, maybe Miami just tried a little bit harder. I explained this to my wife watching the game. She's like, is Miami good? I'm like, no. And she's like, well, why are we playing so poorly? And I said, every team is going to give us their A++ game. They're going to wake up every morning and they're going to be like, all right, we're playing Buffalo. They're going to get our absolute best. And that's probably just what happened with Miami's defense here. I would expect that in every game going forward, Look at the Bengals. They didn't show up against the Jets because it was the Jets. The Jets showed up because it was Cincinnati. The Jets are going to give that to us when we play them. Every team's going to give that to us when we play them. So if we don't look like the best team in the league every week, and Allen said this, we don't need to be the best team in the league every week. We need to be the best team on the field. And we were. So I'm not going to be too upset unless this becomes consistent with Daboll's game plan.
Yeah, right? I mean, I think I'm happy. I mean, a win's a win.
Yes, yeah.
We actually we carry on. Results have gone our way this week or this weekend with obviously the Titans.
Well, the Titans won, but they lost Derrick Henry. He's out.
Yeah.
Rest of the season, it looks like.
Obviously, Bengals lost, and they were doing surprisingly well.
About a year ahead of schedule. I like me some Cincinnati in fantasy.
Obviously Chargers lost. That helped us out a bit.
Well, here, speaking on that, and on the same topic,
and obviously Browns lost as well.
Yeah, they're awful. I think. Looking at the rest of our schedule now, Jets showed up. Colts almost had Tennessee, and the Saints defense was intense. The Jets, probably a fluke. Wentz, he threw the game away, and the Saints lost Winston. We looked at these next few games as 6-0. Did it become more challenging in your mind this weekend, or are you still fine with everything?
I'm still fine with everything.
Okay.
I just think it's a case of it seems like Miami, even though we've owned them for the last 7 straight games of the
And our defense owned them again this week, so
that we can actually that Miami likes to bring their A game when it comes to it. I think there's no trouble with the against the Jag. I think the Jets are just going to be the Jets against us. I can't see them actually winning
yeah.
with Mike White against this defense.
Mhm.
Obviously, the Bengals defense isn't the strongest out
They
there.
were pretty hot. The other what was it? Their last game, the Bengals had. Yeah, I mean they kept Baltimore to 17. They kept Detroit. Well, that's Detroit 11. Pittsburgh to 10. Their defenses played well. That last week was remarkably surprising. I think that's more on the coaching staff than anything. You gotta show up every week. Every week, is the only thing that you should be focused on. And
I'm more than happy with what's going on. I'm confident that when we come out of it, we will come out of it with the 6-0 record. Will be a 11-2 team.
Patriots don't worry you?
Patriots don't worry me.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, they've actually managed to take apart the Chargers, but I still feel we have enough on them this season. They're still in rebuild. I like Mac Jones. I think he is going to be a good quarterback for him.
He's boring. They also have nothing in the pass game. Like they've horribly handled the receiving core.
Exactly. But
they can run, and we aren't that great against it.
So yeah, there is going to be ways to do it. But I'm quite confident that we can take care of the Patriots. I mean, I say Jags probably going to be a blowout. So
that would be fun for us to have our party during a blowout. Would be a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, Jets. I think they'll probably give us a bit of a run for the money.
You think the Jets
not
really?
Too much? Not too much. Then what we got? What's the next game after that? That's the Colts, isn't it?
Colts, yeah.
Colts. I can't see them. They've improved a little bit, but obviously they're playing Titans, pushed them hard. But I mean,
it's just Wentz. Like he's gonna make bad decisions, and I think against our defense, that's going to be great for us. I think.
And then what is it? Patriots.
Then it's Saints, then Patriots, then Buccaneers, and I think these 3 games are going to be a real good test, which is good. You want to have that leading into December. I mean, the end of December. So I think that'll be all right.
Who's the Saints' third string quarterback?
They had just played Trevor Siemian.
Yeah. So you're going.
Yeah, I know, but it's their defense, though. That's their big thing.
But if we can get the turnovers,
Brady threw 375 and 4, so I guess it's all right, right?
Yeah, I mean,
we can do that. If he could do that, we could do that.
I mean, you got to put Trevor Siemian against this defense.
Yeah, and as long as we scored like twice, I think we should be all right.
Yeah,
Alvin Kamara might be tough, but a lot can change by that time. We're looking at right now. We're looking at Jags, Jets, Colts, win because Wentz is going to blow it. So nothing that happened against Miami leaves you to worry.
The only thing I can kind of see, I mean, towards the end in the second half, it started to improve a little bit, but I'm still worried about that cornerback 2 position.
Levi Wallace played well.
He played well first.
It was all Parker. He was the only one that did anything, and that's wide receiver 1 right there. So
then why didn't you? That's where they should have put White on there. But then
he was on him. I mean, he beat him a few times, but again, it's
just
we haven't really played a team that can challenge us in the passing game, and we're not going to for a while. So I mean, Jags are a mess. Jets can't throw. Colts only have Pittman. Saints don't have a quarterback. Pats don't have a wide receiver. Yeah, it's going to be the Bucs that will challenge us in the pass game.
That's kind of why I'm worried. That's kind of why I'm worried about CB2.
So you want to trade for a guard and a cornerback. this tonight?
Well, if anything, I'd rather do a cornerback than a guard.
Okay.
Because I mean, what there was talk of, I think, who was it? There was let me see if I can get it quickly. I should have brought it up beforehand, but there was lists of talk of oh, what's his name? Oh, I've lost the name now, but there could be a couple of fairly decent cornerbacks on the market that we can actually take. I mean, you take that cornerback, you just give us that one extra cornerback, especially as a trade, then you're looking at a defense that is going to be as strong as it can be.
So you don't want a CB2, you want a CB1B, right? I mean, an upgrade there, like to find a guy better than Wallace or Taron Johnson, I mean, I think you're going to have to pay for that. So
I think for better, I think with Johnson, I think he has got that slot spots.
Yeah. Okay.
I can't see anyone taking it off him. I think he's one of the best. It's one of the best slot put guys at the moment. But I think it is cornerback too. I mean, don't be shocked to see that if they go in the draft, maybe that they go with the first 2 or 3 picks, they'll double down either guard or cornerback.
Well, it's interesting to look at the rest of our schedule. I don't feel a need for CB2. I feel like there's more of a need for offensive linemen because even when you get into the playoffs, you don't have a team in the AFC that really boasts 2 scary wide receivers.
We don't play the Chargers, do we?
We don't play the Chargers, no, but if we see them in the playoffs.
They've got obviously Keenan Allen and Mike Williams.
Yep. The Raiders don't have a wide receiver, but they have a great tight end. Indy, Pittman, that's it. Tennessee has 2, but Julio can't stay healthy, and they're going to have to become a passing team now. So that will be interesting to see what Tennessee does. I think we can handle Pittsburgh. All their guys are average, so that would be all right. Cincinnati would probably be the biggest test. Higgins, Chase, and Boyd. That's probably what I would be the most scared of in the playoffs. In Baltimore, of course, it's more Lamar running, but Andrews, Hollywood Brown, that's a big challenge, I think. But
they've also got Rashad Bateman. Bateman, he's going to be. He's actually got a few weeks to show, but and they've still got Sammy Watkins, but that's that's that. But yeah, there are ways. There's stuff that we can say that it's going to be good, that we're good on there. We can just
I don't expect us to actually do anything. So I think we're good.
Yeah, but I mean, as I said in the on Twitter, for some of that game, it looked like that Miami were the team that had the bye week, and we had just come from playing last week. That's how.
Maybe we're just a little sluggish out of the gate. Maybe Daboll had too much time to overthink the game plan. Again, I wasn't worried at all during the game. I was very calm. I wasn't really angry at anything going on. It's just that if this persists, if Daboll shows doing things that we're not good at and he keeps trying it, I'll be bothered by that. But you got to show that you're multidimensional. So maybe this game, it's about putting stuff on tape that can keep defenses on their heels. And maybe this was just one of those games. So we'll see, but I'm not too worried, especially with Jacksonville coming up, but we'll preview them shortly.
Yeah. So, I mean, is there anything else you want to add before we kick?
Nope. It's time to really just beat into the heads of the UK Mafia. Sunday, Moortown Bell, London. We're all going to be there. I want you to be there. I think it's going to be fantastic. It's going to be a lot of fun. They have wings. If they're good or not, I'll be the judge of that, but I've heard good things. But
that's the guy. That's the guy, Carl Fuller.
Hey, you found it. Who?
Carl Fuller. Broncos.
Where's he from?
Broncos.
Hey, they're selling. If they're selling, then, let's do it.
But yes, no, Moortown Bell. Definitely come down. I'm in contact. I might even put a challenge up.
Ooh, challenge.
Probably with their wings. I just need to speak with the manager and get that sorted, and maybe even put it down for all of the for the Fitzrover Bell when they're down there as well. But yes, that's definitely looking forward to that. I mean, obviously join me and Alex, Tim and Charlie on the Bills from Afar podcast, and there's going to be quite a few people down there. Let's just pack it out. Let's pack it out. Let's
Pack it
and
in. Pack it.
pack it out.
Let's
Pack it out.
pack it. Just pack it. I don't know.
Pack it out. Let's just fill it.
There we go.
Fill it. There we go. Let's fill that out. I mean, I'm going to be there from probably about 4 o'clock onwards.
Oh, you're gonna be drunk at kickoff. Awesome.
I'm not drinking.
Okay.
I've got to get back for work the next day, so I'm.
All right.
Unfortunately, I may have. I'm going to whisper this because the missus is in the next room. I might have one
or two. You could spread it out. It's a long game.
Yeah, I'm going to be there. We're going to. There's wings, and there's even a buffalo burger.
Okay. Yep. They put that on the menu for us. That's pretty cool. They have darts, right? I used to be good at darts. Let's play some
darts. They have pool
games.
tables there. They have screens. They have the lot. So, and lucky that we actually partnered with them, so we get this next year and the year after and the year after, as long as we go through. So, make sure you keep an eye out for more information during the week.
Yep.
Get down to Moortown Bell. After that, get down to Fitzrover Bell to watch games, and keep following us on the socials. At UK_Bills on Twitter, at RWBB_podcast on Twitter, UK Bills on Instagram, Buffalo Bills UK on Facebook and Instagram, and I can't think of anything else. Maybe one last question. Who knows? No, and I'm just gonna sign it off.
Okay.
With what a good listener of the show, Saxon Dave on Twitter actually did, just summing up the game. He said he puts it down to Russ coming off the bye week. We'll always take the win, but we have a huge problem on the O-line. How do we fix it? And Hack can't punt consistently.
Well, yeah, I mean, we covered the O-line, and let's not talk about the punter. The goal is to not punt. So, let's just, have touchdown drives instead.
But yes, so
we're not going to sign a new punter. I don't think it's not going to happen. So we just have to deal with it.
We might draft one, but that's another story. But no. Keep following us on the socials. Get down to the Moortown Bell on Sunday. Keep spreading and building this UK Mafia up. Subscribe, follow, like, get the word of mouth, anything just to promote us. Let's get this group going. And for Alex, if you have anything else to say.
Nope, I'm good.
For me, Matt, it's good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thank you for listening, and let's go Buffalo Bills.
Go Bills.